Scene script. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the clutter in your life? It's a question that resonates with many of us, especially in this era of overflowing opportunities and endless choices. We're living in a world that's constantly bombarding us with information, tasks, and demands. It's a world where we're often encouraged to do more, have more, be more. But what if the secret to a fulfilling life isn't about adding more, but rather about eliminating the superfluous? This is the core concept presented in Greg McKeown's book, Essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less. McKeown introduces us to the philosophy of essentialism, a disciplined, systematic approach for determining where our highest point of contribution lies, then making execution of those things almost effortless. According to McKeown, our modern society is filled with a multitude of choices, opportunities, and demands that can easily lead to a life cluttered with non-essentials. These are the things that, while they may seem important or urgent, are not truly essential to our happiness, fulfillment, or success. The problem is that this non-essential clutter doesn't just fill up our physical spaces. It also fills up our mental and emotional spaces, distracting us, draining us, and preventing us from focusing on what truly matters. We become like a jack of all trades, master of none, constantly busy, but rarely productive. But essentialism offers a way out. It's not about getting more done in less time. It's about getting only the right things done. It's about regaining control of our own choices, about where to spend our precious time and energy, instead of giving others implicit permission to choose for us. Essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less, is more than just a book. It's a guide, a method to identify and eliminate the non-essentials that are cluttering up our lives. It's an invitation to embark on a journey towards a simpler, more meaningful life. Imagine a life where you only focus on the things that truly matter to you. That's the promise of essentialism. What if you could do less, but achieve more? That's the tantalizing prospect at the heart of Greg McKeown's Essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less. This book isn't your run-of-the-mill self-help guide. It's a radical reimagining of how we approach our lives, our work, and everything in between. In Essentialism, McKeown lays out a compelling case for adopting a less but better approach. This isn't about slashing your to-do list in half on a whim. It's about thoughtful reduction, about honing in on what truly matters. It's about focusing on fewer tasks or aspects, but doing them with more efficiency and quality. But how do we decide what's essential and what's not? That's where prioritizing and making trade-offs come into play. Essentialism challenges us to constantly question what we're spending our time on. It urges us to ask ourselves, is this the most important thing I should be doing with my time and resources right now? Saying no is another powerful tool that Essentialism champions. In a world that glorifies busyness, saying no can feel uncomfortable, even rebellious. But McKeown argues that it's a skill we must cultivate if we want to focus our energies on what's really important. After all, every yes is really a no to something else. Now let's be clear, Essentialism isn't a magic bullet. It's not going to instantly solve all your problems or turn you into a productivity machine overnight. It's a mindset, a philosophy, a way of life. It requires discipline, commitment, and a willingness to swim against the tide. But the rewards? They're worth it. Imagine a life where you're not constantly feeling stretched too thin, where you're making meaningful progress towards your most important goals, where you're living, not just surviving. Essentialism isn't about getting more done in less time. It's about getting only the right things done. It's about making a conscious choice to invest your time and energy in what truly matters to you. And that, my friends, is a choice worth making. So, how can you become an essentialist? Let's dive into the practical steps suggested by Greg McKeown to embrace an essentialist lifestyle. Firstly, exploration is key. It's about taking the time to identify what truly matters to you. This isn't about making quick decisions, but about thoughtful deliberation. Next, we move on to elimination. This is where we weed out the non-essentials. It's about making tough choices and saying no to things that don't align with your essential pursuits. Lastly, it's all about execution. Once you've identified your essentials, it's time to put them into action effectively. This is not just about doing more, but doing more of what matters. I urge you all to reflect on what's most important to you. What are the essentials in your life? Remember, essentialism is a disciplined pursuit of less, but it leads to a life filled with more joy, more satisfaction, and more meaning. To wrap it up, let's revisit what essentialism is all about. It's the art of honing in on what's truly important, eliminating the clutter of the non-essential. It's about making the most of our time and energy by focusing on what really matters. Remember, being an essentialist isn't about getting more done, but about getting the right things done. This disciplined pursuit of less can truly transform your life. To find out more about essentialism and how it can transform your life, check out the link in the video description below.